I was very happy about the rebounding situation, the 4 or 5 people in double figures. That's always nice to see. And just getting everybody out there and seeing what they can do. So we're very happy about that. But these two play particularly well. Tessa at the 4. She's undersized, but she has a big heart. Dakota pushing the ball and getting to the free throw line, which we did not see a lot of that last year. So we're very happy about that. So we'll take any questions that you all have.
Yeah, congrats on the win. How happy were you with like the pace and the ball movement for your first game against a different opponent?
For our first game, I thought it was pretty good. Again, these games are the ones you're trying to figure out what your offense will look like, what your defense will look like, our conditioning level, you know, because you can practice, but it's nothing like the game. And so I think for the most part, we were very happy with our turnovers were down 13. Our goal is 8, so we were a little bit over those. But some of those are travels, 3 seconds, and just kind of coming down and just throwing the ball kind of where, you know, they shouldn't. But for the most part, I think those will come down as well because our goal is to be under 10, at least 10 turnovers a game. So.
Coach, Minnesota State shot 24%, so they shot a pretty low percentage, but it seemed like they had a lot of open looks, especially from 3. How do you think your defense played and your perimeter defense especially?
Well, some of that is we're staying too long. When they drive, you help, but you gotta get back out. And, I mean, but we flew at them, so that's probably why they didn't shoot a very good percentage. But on nights where they're hot, we might, you know, that might be a different story. But for the most part, you are trying to force a contested outside shot. The goal is really of the pack, make them put it on the floor. And I think 1 or 2 times we did that, they traveled. So, but this is not a good matchup for us. You know, when you don't have true 4s, true 5s, true, you know, you got 3 that can play the point guard with, it's kind of hard to match up. But again, we have to do a better job of moving while the ball's in the air and really getting to our spots.
Coach, on offense, it looked like earlier in the game you were playing the ball in the paint a lot, not taking a lot of outside looks, and then as the game went on, you started taking more outside jumpers. Was that kind of by design, or was that just looking at what the defense is giving you and reacting?
Some of that was looking at what the defense was giving us. They were double teaming the post players, so we tried to do some other things to get some drives, get some people that's open on some screening, and kind of go away from the post a little bit. But the post finally figured out reverse pivot if they're going to double you, and then you can see them coming, and then you won't have to make back to the basket moves and then get your shot blocked. That's what was happening early. Earlier
in the week, you said that Marsha Howard didn't look like a freshman. She didn't have the deer in the headlights freshman look. How do you think she performed in her first game?
Well, I mean, 11 rebounds and 7 points for a freshman, that's pretty good. She had 3 blocks. I think she was tying her shoe one time and then realized the ball was, I'm like, what? That's a freshman. You don't tie your shoe in the middle of the play, you know. But, again, she'll get even better. I mean, this is just a preview of what she can do. But I thought Tessa played really well. I thought Dakota turned it on. So we're happy that all of them had an opportunity to get out there and play.
Both you and Coach Palmer, you pulled Marsha over midway through the third quarter, and you talked to her, you sat her down. What did you tell her?
We were talking about her post defense. They kind of play high school defense where they put both hands in the air. Well, you can't move laterally if both hands are straight up. But you can get away with that in high school, but against the big girls, especially in the Big Ten and some of the teams we're going to play, you can't do that. So she'll learn. She'll learn to get on that baseline side and make them go the other way. And but for the most part, I thought Marsha did a great job.
Dakota, you looked like you were really comfortable out there pushing the ball in transition and picking up the pace a little bit more. Is that kind of the game you want to play, moving the ball up court fast?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Throughout this whole month of October, Coach Bobby has been implementing a lot of transition with the 5 that we have, so we know that we could really push the ball. So that's something that I'm always going to look for. And then, you know, if we don't have it, we have our offense where we can just go right into it. So it works out.
And Tessa, I know at some points out there you look like on offense you were starting to take control when it was getting later in shot clocks and you needed a shot. Is there something you're looking for out there as like a senior leader, just kind of, you know, command the offense a little bit more?
I think all of us as seniors, we are pretty experienced for the most part. We have 3 returning starters, and then you have Kayla coming back as well, and then eventually Mick will come back. So I think it brings a level of comfortability. So, like, we're comfortable out there. So I think if I didn't do it, Dakota would have. And if she didn't, Nicole would have, that kind of thing. And then Avi played well her first game back. Marsha played well. So I think It's not so much about me taking over. It was just that was my opportunity. And so I think any of us would have. I think we're going to be good like that. So everyone's going to have their game. So.
Yeah, and specifically on offense, you definitely mixed it up, took a lot of outside shots, but also drove the ball well. Is there any part of that where you feel more comfortable doing, or is it just, again, looking at what the defense has given you?
Yeah, it's looking, I guess, what the defense gives me as well. When I do play on the wing, I am a bigger wing. So if I had someone towards the end of the game, one of my last shots, I guess, I had a smaller girl on me. So I asked Marsha to go to the 3 position, and I went to the 4 so I could kind of go in there and post up because she was smaller. So I guess it's just, yeah, it's what they give you. And then I guess if I'm hitting my shots, then that's what I'm going to look for. If I'm not hitting, then I'm going to go to the basket or try and get boards or that kind of thing. So, yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
There were a good amount of opportunities right under the basket that did not end up falling. Is that something that you say it's the first exhibition game, or is that going to be more of an emphasis in practice after today?
Some of it is. I mean, it's the first time under the lights with crowd, and you're sitting on the bench with the uniforms on, and it's a game atmosphere. So some of it's just slowing down, really getting your body control, where you can pump fake, maybe get on balance. A lot of those shots were off balance. Some of them where they weren't using the backboard. I said, that's why it's up there. It's not going to move. It'll be there. Use it. So it's just watching video and really understanding the angles, where you are on the floor. Sometimes I think they might close their eyes and shoot it. I mean, the ball was just flying over the basket. But some of it is just recognition, getting out there and really understanding where you are on the floor, and then taking your time and going up and using the backboard. So.
And Tessa, what did you just feel overall the chemistry on the court was? It's the first game. Evaluating it for the first game, was it better than you expected, worse? How far do you guys have to go?
I think it was a little bit better than I expected. I mean, I guess we play against guys in practice, so we haven't necessarily gotten the feel of playing against girls because we get our shot blocked in practice all the time. They steal our passes. So, yeah, I think it was better than I expected, but we performed as well as, I mean, I guess we have been in practice mostly. But there are things to work on, like Coach Bobby said. But I think for our first showing, we did pretty well. I mean, we were in shape, so that's always a positive.
Any more? Thanks, guys.
Thank
Thank you.